So, here we are. Hey guys, sorry, we was having a side conversation just now.
Which y'all ain't gonna hear because it's gonna be cut out.
Yeah. You sound like somebody's mother the way you just said that. But yes, welcome to, was it episode 25 now?
Yes.
Episode 25. I'm so hungry. I ain't eat nothing all day.
25.
You're not gonna hear me chewing, I'm sorry. How are you?
I am fine. Chilling, chillaxing, as the youngin said. Let me stop.
Did you enjoy your weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was fine. Nothing to report to the masses here. Hope y'all had a good weekend, fellow people. How was your weekend? I mean, it's still the weekend.
It was Friday. I mean, it was Friday. What am I talking about?
Because it's Sunday right now, so it's like,
Yeah. My weekend was really chill. I didn't do shit but just do hair. That's it. I didn't really do anything. I mean, it's not like I really do much anyway. It's fucking COVID pandemic, but
she act like she can't go out somewhere.
I mean, I can, but I just don't want to be putting myself at risk. That's just my views on it. Like I told you, somebody close to me almost lost a parent, so I just view things a little bit different with the whole COVID shit.
No, I understand.
So if I don't need to be out, don't get me wrong, I miss going out. Like, I miss going to bars. I miss shaking my fucking ass. Like, I miss that. I miss going to events. But I'm not itching to be going out. Like how I be seeing some people in the timeline and shit. But that's just because it hit me a little bit different than these other people. So I ain't judging. I'm just saying.
She judging.
For me, a little bit. There are some times where I'm just like, come on, people. Like, take this shit serious. But yeah, I'm not fiending to.
You got me fiending.
It could have been because I started at an early age. Because I was partying at like.
Here we go.
I did. So I feel like I'm not really. Yeah, I miss it, but it's not like, oh, like a crackhead fiending, scratching myself to go the fuck out.
Thank God for that. Wow.
Okay.
Child. So, when we last left y'all, we had fake therapy, Ayamba, Fix Your Life episode. I hope y'all tuned into that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and stream on all platforms. I mean, technically, I don't know what all is, because there probably is like so many platforms out there that we probably never heard of, because we gotta look at the international ones to see.
But we could just everything will be in the description where we could stream.
Yes, y'all. We out here. So
what's going on?
What you mean? So what's going on?
Yeah,
girl? I mean, that was your turn to be. So yeah, y'all, I got this for y'all. What you got for us?
The only thing that...
All she got for us is some tacos. Like, it's Taco Tuesday.
I'm fucking hungry. I didn't eat nothing all day. All I had was a fucking little mini packet of fucking nuts. Pause.
You're a girl. There's no pause.
But every time I used to say that, like, a certain individual always be like, pause. I'm like, but I'm a girl. I'm supposed to say that. Whatever.
And
so now I got in the habit.
Like, come on, y'all. This is not your
niggas still be doing that shit. I don't think that ever stopped with age.
If you are comfortable in your sexuality, like, nobody, whatever. I ain't even gonna get told that because I can't. I just can't.
But yeah, that's all I had was a pack of fucking nuts and dry fruit. So I'm starving. So that's why I'm like, I'm sorry if y'all hear me. The fuck? No. Damn, I forgot to close the window.
I closed it.
But yeah, I mean, the only thing that I seen that was going on, obviously the thing with Larsa pimping.
I feel like every podcast episode we talk about that girl or woman, I should say.
I mean, but the last time, did we talk about how he was married? We probably did.
No, I don't think we mentioned. I don't think we knew that. You know, all of that was going on.
I mean, we ain't gotta speak about it, but I will ask this though.
I'm tired of seeing her ass on social media. I'm like, damn, like every. That's not one right now.
But what would you do if you found out on social media that your husband, like you see pictures of him holding hands with another woman? What you gonna do?
First of all, before he was holding hands with her, he was underneath pictures commenting. So most women be stalking their man on social media anyway. So,
but she probably trusted him enough that she wasn't stalking.
Yeah, but he wrote her publicly. So you need to tell me. But can't you see when people? But it shows you when people comment, like stuff. So you mean to tell me you ain't see that your man comment? I know for a fact. Because if she saw that picture on social media, she had to see that other comment.
Not really though, because with the comment things, it usually depends on if you guys have, like, if she's following Larsa, or then she'll be able to see it. Like, it'll pop up if she ever came on her page. But if they don't follow each other, she will never see that.
No, it wasn't Larsa. It was her man that made the comment.
I know, but I'm saying, if, let's say, her, Larsa, and the man was all following each other, if his wife was to go on, like, on the page, she would see it because they're mutual. I mean, all right. So, like,
but this is Instagram. If that's like people I don't follow, I see their comments. So that's why I'm confused.
Because you guys probably the whatever they commented on, you probably follow that page. That's if you follow the page. If you just going on the page just to go, then that's different. But I'm saying that if she doesn't have no reason to go on Larsa's page, she's not going to see that comment.
But was it on Larsa's page? That's what I'm
saying. It was on Larsa's page. But if she has no reason to go on Larsa's page, because she's probably not following Larsa. So if she has no reason to go on her page, she's not going to see that comment.
But what I'm saying is that before all the other...
But remember, he wrote on an old picture.
That was an old picture?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not even about the...
So she wouldn't see that. Now, if it was a recent picture, yeah.
Okay, so on Instagram, what is that? I don't even know if they still have it, because I don't ever go on that part of... Like, when you slide to go to see... I don't know if they even took that function out or whatever, but I remember that...
I don't think they have that anymore.
Okay, so if they don't have that, then that's what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking about when, like...
I know what you're talking about, that other page. Ben got rid of that, though.
Okay, so then never mind. So, whatever.
The only way you would see...
Because I'm like, that's how she would have seen the comment if she went. Because if you follow people, the people you follow, it'll always show you, like, oh, this person like this person commented here, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, she would have seen that. Because if she checks that page, which I'm sure she's checking it, on her Instagram page, then she'll see that her man commented on Larsa Pittman's picture.
Yeah, they got rid of that feature.
Well, then
so that's why I'm like, the only way she would see it is if she actually followed Larsa, and because her man followed her too, like Larsa too, if she was to go on Larsa's page, it would say, like, because obviously they're a mutual friend, she'll see, like, her husband comment or, like, you know what I mean? But that nigga commented on an old, like, picture from, like, what was it, 5-10 weeks ago?
Oh, well, I don't
you know, niggas used to do shit like that when they want to talk to you. They go comment on an old picture.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's where I was coming from with. I would have seen if I was looking at that other thingy that I guess they then took out that I didn't realize that they took out.
Yeah, that's been going for a minute.
I would have seen, like, my husband commented on that, whatever the case may be. So she ain't see it because that shit is gone. So it is what it is.
But that's how a lot of people used to get caught up, because you would see. That's why they used to make those jokes when women would be like, "Oh, how you like this girl put you like this because of that feature?" But they got rid of that shit. So the only way you could see is if you guys have, like, mutual friends, like y'all all follow each other, then you will be able to see.
Oh. I mean, so that's that. I mean,
to answer one thing, and I was just like, how the fuck does nigga know this girl? And then come to find out they was following each other. But the reason why I saw is because we all followed each other.
Well, we was talking about two different things then, so.
Yeah. But once you said that, I'm like, oh, I know you're talking about,
but
they don't have that no more.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. I'm like, that thing where you would slide to the other one, you would see people's comments. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, girl, that ain't there no more. But I thought you knew that wasn't there no more. That's why I was like, no.
Because I never checked that thing, because I could care less what people was liking and commenting on.
Yeah, but, I never looked at that feature either.
Yeah, I barely looked at... Well, I don't know when they took that off, but whatever.
It's been a minute.
What's the answer to your question? Oh, if I saw...
Like, if you saw pictures, like, you just on social media or blogs and you just see, like, your man holding hands walking with this female.
Well, of course I'm going to be... more than irritated. I'm going to be pissed because, first of all, we married? Anybody's going to be pissed off, angry, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you a female or whether you're a male, you're going to be instantly angry about what you see. So...
You want to kick him out?
Yeah, you gotta go. Like, ain't no question about that. You gotta go, buddy. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, you got the shade room up, so you telling me it's my turn, but you ready.
No, I'm not ready. I have my laptop to put the voice memo thing on, but then after that, I was like, all right, look.
Well, I mean, I know what's going on as far as, like, I see the thing with Ashanti and,
oh, yeah, we're going to get that Verzuz.
The Verzuz. But you know what's crazy? They were talking about them doing a Verzuz a minute ago. Like, because I think Keisha Cole had put in the comments. Because somebody had posted something like, oh, what about Keisha Cole and Ashanti? Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing Keisha Cole had comment. And she was like, let's do it. I'm down for whatever. So this was like months ago. So I'm happy that they finally are doing it.
Well, I'm definitely happy about that. We'll see. I seen earlier that on some page, one of my friends was showing me that, like, people have put, like, 20 hits for Keisha and Ashanti. So I was looking at some of Keisha Cole songs, I was just like, huh?
I don't even know, to be
honest.
I
was like, okay, some of these songs are not a hit. Like, you know, if we're talking about Billboard hits. Right, because if that's
even if it's not Billboard hits, I don't think she have 20 hits though.
Yeah, from the look of that list, she didn't have 20 hits, but because any artist is obviously gonna have 20 plus songs. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's the hits part that sometimes people forget, because we're not talking about like, oh, this is a hit to you in your mind. You know, it's a hit in terms on, was this on the top 10 on Billboard? Like, was this top 20? This was on the top 100 at least. Was this in the top 100, you know, on Billboard? And everybody knows, like, once you're in that top 10, that's like top 10 hits. So, and obviously if you're number 1, number 2, or even top 5, boom. So, yeah.
But that was a conversation I had with Joel. Because he was like, oh, Tamar, he was bringing up her name to me. And I was like, Tamar don't have 20 hits. Mm-mm. And he was like naming the songs. I'm like, yeah, those are probably hits to you.
Right.
Because you like her as an artist. But if we talking about the masses, she don't have 20 hits to be in that.
Yeah, because that's the point of Verzuz. They talking about hits. This whole thing is
like
about
legends and stuff.
Hits on the Billboard, like on the charts. Like, that's what we talking about here. I mean, obviously some artists, they definitely play songs that were not hits. And I guess, you know, Verzuz was just like, okay, whatever, you know. But, because the last time we was talking about Gucci and, what's his name, and Jeezy, even that too, it's like, you know, when artists start playing stuff from their mixtape and stuff like that, it's
but
like...
you can't count that out either, because a lot of mixtapes are what made artists, and those were big hits too.
No, I'm not counting it out. What I'm saying is that, what I'm trying to do is draw the conclusion as to why a lot of the times people are so quick to say, well, we could put this artist and that artist together. But then when you think about it, oh, well, this artist does have hits, even though the hits might not be Billboard hits, but like you said, it's hits to that person individually. Because at this point in the Verzuz, some of these artists don't be playing songs that was ever a hit. So does it even really matter at this point if it's top 20, like 20 hits, you know, like niggas is not Michael Jackson.
I think it's like hits, like you said, like the Billboards, but I think it's also about like the popularity of the song too, because I mean, Fab, I think played some stuff from his mixtapes. Those was an actual like, you know, like album. Same thing with Jada, because I think Jada played some of the stuff off his
all
mixtape.
of them did.
So I think it's more than just Billboard. I think it's just like the popularity of just like that song.
True, but when Verzuz first started, it wasn't like that. So, you know, that's why when I have conversations with people about Verzuz has changed, you know, even when we talk about Verzuz. Like, when you think about how when we was, like, in lockdown and these artists were on live, they were playing hits. They weren't
but
playing.
You can't say that.
But
those
that's
songs are not hits though.
No, I'm saying I'm
because they wasn't on the Billboard.
What I'm saying is that when Verzuz first started,
no, I get
right?
what you're saying.
Right, because with Swizz Beatz, because it's not about what I'm going by. It's about what Timb and Swizz Beatz originated.
But these people have more like album stuff. They have mixtape stuff, but a lot of their hits they could just go off of just like album stuff because of who they are as
but
people.
That's now. But before it wasn't like that. You had people that were playing Billboard hits,
but look at the people that they had though. They had songwriters, of course.
Right, because remember, this is why. Remember back then when we used to talk about Verzuz, and then I would be like, "Oh, they should put this person." You're like, "Yeah, but this person don't got 20 hits, though, like 20 straight hits." And I'm like, "Yeah, but this song, blah blah."
But I wasn't talking about just Billboard hits. I'm just saying like hits where it's like, nah, this is a song. Like this was played because there's songs that's not really played on the radio that's just played in the club, and those were hits too. And then they started being played on the radio. So I don't think it's just Billboard hits. I think it's like, yeah, it could be some Billboard hits, but you have a lot of mixtapes that have more popularity than they do the albums.
That's true.
And that's why some artists put certain songs that was on mixtapes on their debut album. So I think it's just like popularity and just like if they were on the Billboard hits, like, but more so like everybody knows this fucking song. Like,
but not everybody does know this song because how many times we've seen people in the comments like, I don't know this song, and this is folks in urban America. So not everybody listens to mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody listens to a full work album. Usually people, they just vibe with, if once the artist releases the song, it tops the chart, it's on the radio, it got mad plays, video bomb, blah, 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 blah. You know, people, they want to, because some people, they just listen to songs that artists has put out. They don't even buy the album to listen to the rest of the stuff. They just look at all the songs that an artist puts out, and for them that's enough. And then you got other people who listen to all bodies of work. So I mean, it varies, and you know, it's very, the whole Verzuz thing, who knows, maybe Timb and Swizz need to give a little bit more clarification to the audience in terms, because like you be telling me, people be commenting and telling Swizz Beatz like, yo, put this person, that person, and then he be like, oh, this person don't got 20 hits. He's not saying this person don't got 20 songs. He's talking about hits. So where you getting the hits from?
But you also have like,
because technically speaking, what makes a song a hit it's a full spectrum of things, right? It has to be the label, the push that they put in behind it.
Yeah, that's why I said like it's not just about the Billboard. There's other things that make it a hit.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like in terms of the song to be on the Billboard. I'm talking about for it to be a Billboard hit. Like there's a machine behind that makes it a Billboard hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I'm just going off the strength of, if these people who are the co-founders of this thing saying, nah, this person can't go against this person. Because there's a lot of people that I was like, yo, this person and that person, because their songs was popular and their songs was hot. But you got these, you know, people that's in charge of this saying, nah, they got to have hits. Yeah, but and as an artist and as a person who owns a label, for them a hit is on the charts. That's a hit. There's no other way to, like, that's how they get the plaques. That's how they become certified, gold, platinum. Their album gotta be a hit, certified a hit. So it's like
they probably going, I don't think they're just solely based, because I mean, it was even the thing where people were saying Bow Wow needed to be in it, and Tim was like, no, like he don't got hits. And they had this some post and they showed like all the hits that Bow Wow had, and Tim was like, oh, like he apologized for it. So
because he doesn't know his work.
Yeah, but right. I don't know. I know Bow Wow had stuff that went like certified and stuff like that. But you also think about, I mean, Bow Wow
I think that's
really
different though. I think that's just Timbaland not recognizing Bow Wow as an artist, because it's not like he didn't have hits. He definitely had chart topping hits.
But when you compare it to like other people, that's probably why it never really dawned on him.
Because of her popularity as an artist.
Yeah, but versus, I mean, there's things where like I've seen songs be played on the radio nonstop and it would be a hit everywhere.
But we know the thing behind that too, because we have known that artists be paying these radio stations.
We know that, but even though they paying these radio stations is being played, it
and
still
becomes,
hear it. It's true, but it still becomes a hit and it becomes popular.
Because that's how it becomes a hit, because of the radio.
Yeah, but sometimes it don't go high, it don't chart high on the Billboard. So that's why I'm like, we can't really just base everything, and I don't think they're just basing everything on Billboard, because there's plenty of songs that have been played on the radio and have been a hit for everybody, but when you look at the Billboard charts, it's not up there. It's not high up there.
True. That's true.
So that's how, like, I feel like it's more like popularity, of course, like Billboard charting, certified, all that. I think it's just a whole mixture of all of those things together. Because some people, like for me, Keisha Cole, I wouldn't have put her in the Verzuz, because I don't think she has 20 memorable songs that's like everybody would know. Not just her fans, but like everybody. Ashanti, yes, I think she has 20 hits that the masses know. But Keisha Cole, no.
But then that goes back to the whole thing too about when you put in these artists against each other, and because remember, it's versus, people. This is versus. You put in a song versus another song to see how it withstands against that other song. So if I'm putting a hit against a non-hit, that's just an automatic, why are we even doing this versus?
But
so,
like Swizz said on the podcast, he said it's also about energy too, because
listen,
you know,
the energy is important, but people are tuning in because they trying to vibe to these old songs too. Yeah, the whole theatrics with the personalities, people are not tuned in for. The professionalism. I mean, you know, the person. Okay, I'm not.
Because for me, there was like certain songs that I like from both Brandy and Monica, but I would lean more so because it's like, nah, like this song, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, because that's preference.
Yeah, but I do think that sometimes the way if your lineup is not right, because you could have amazing songs, but if your lineup is not right, with
but how they gonna know if their lineup is not right? Because I think
they pick a certain amount of songs that they will play, and then once the person played, then they, you know, it's like back and forth.
Right, but I don't. Yes, no, I agree, but I don't think like this artist is going. Because when you say that to me, in my head, I'm thinking these artists got their 20 songs here, their 20 songs there, and then their DJs is like, okay, we're going to play this song with that song. I just think like...
No, I don't think they know that. I think they go based off of each person. So like, let's say if Ashanti played Foolish, whatever songs Keisha Cole have, I'm sure they're going to be like, all right, if she plays this, we going to play, like, you know what I mean? Like, they prepare themselves.
And these are the artists' DJs too. So so they are telling the DJs, like, you know... here, because a lot of the times when we was watching Verzuz, the artists would know what songs are next, because they would tell the DJ like, yo, play that,
because they came prepared. And that's what Swizz was saying on the podcast. He was like, when you come prepared, of course you're gonna automatically win, but he was like, there's artists that have good songs and they will pair it up with a horrible song, and it's like, this is why you lost. Like, this is because the energy, like, and I agree with that, because there's certain songs I'm like, why would you play, like, this person played this, why would you play this song?
Because they probably just going down the list and they not, because I get it, like, you give a DJ, it's like I get both sides, right? You give your DJ the list, like, here, 1 through 20, play this song. Now, in all honesty, it's also the DJ that's supposed to know, by looking at that list, depending on what the other DJ plays, how they gonna come back. Like, hello, when you think about the 80s and the DJs battling with their records, and they play this song and they do their little magic, and then the other DJ like, all right, let me see what I got next for this person, and they play this. That's how you're supposed to DJ. But they just looking at the list and they're like, all right, I'll just go down the list. So a lot of it too has to be on the DJ, because the DJ should have, as a creative, as an artist, they should know better. Like, oh, if Cash Money, if they play Back That Ass Up and it's mystical, what song am I gonna play? I'm not gonna play fucking, I don't know what song Mystical got, but you're gonna play another ass shaking song to the same ass shaking song. You ain't gonna play no motherfucking R&B song or nothing like that. So that's why I feel like,
I think it's a team though. I think it shouldn't just basically be blamed on the DJ, because the artist sits down. He should take partial.
He should take. It got to be on him too. It's not just like the artist, they give their thing, because the artist is sitting there, they know what songs they chose already. Yeah. But and they not back there with the DJ like, all right, let me see what you got next. All right,
some of them do though.
Yeah, some do, some don't. But the ones that don't, that's when it would be upon the DJ to make that executive decision, like, all right, you know what, this person came hard, so I'm gonna play this stuff. Then again, we don't know how particular some of these artists are. If they just like, yo, let my shit play the way it is, don't freestyle it,
Yeah,
you know. So that's another thing too. Yeah. But I mean, with the whole Verzuz thing, for me personally, Verzuz has always been like, I'm not watching Verzuz to hear songs that is on your mixtape. Like, unless
it's like a hit, like I don't.
Yeah, if it's because there are mixtape songs that do chart the Billboard charts. You know what I'm saying? So especially like Fab, all the mixtapes that he's come out with, he has had songs that have been on Billboard. So that I get if he decides to play a song from one of his mixtapes. Even
some of the stuff Gucci had played, I was like, oh, I like this song. Like, this was popular. Like, you know, like a lot of people knew these songs. So, and they were from mixtapes. So that's why, like, for me personally, I don't mind it, especially if the song is popular and a lot of people know it. Because you got to understand, like, a lot of rappers have mixtapes. Like,
yeah, they do.
It's not like R&B. I feel like rappers are more so to have a mixtape than an R&B artist. So a lot of their stuff is from mixtapes. So
well, Trey Songz got mixtapes too. But
he do, but if you think about it, it's more so rappers that put out, like, mixtapes often.
Nah, play the hits. Because even when Monica was doing that, playing, my new single coming out, we haven't even heard this song, so that just takes away from the verses because that's not the point. So that's why I'm coming.
Did she play that like towards the end? Or no, she played it during a break? She didn't play it as one of the songs though. She played it during.
You sure? Because I think
positive she didn't use it as one of the songs. It was just to say like, oh, this is one of my new songs. But a lot of artists be doing that shit on the verses. Like that's their time to promote. But no, she didn't play that as one of the songs. She played it like during the break, and then she played it at the end, like at the end of verses. No.
Because there was a song that she kept playing, like, okay, so that could have been it.
That was the new song she had with the baby. Not the baby, Little Baby.
Is that the one that's called Trenches?
Yeah, that's the one that she was playing.
Because I was just like, but then there was a C Murder song that she kept playing, and it wasn't.
I think it was that one song that she played, and niggas didn't know that she did like she used a sample. I know what song you're talking about because it was a GIF all over social media. Okay. I didn't even know about that Monica song. But I was like, girl, you have other, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because I'm like, I know there was a song she played in the Verzuz battle, and I was just like, what? Like, what are you doing? So it's like stuff like that. It also, like you said, energy, right? That also throws off the energy of the Verzuz because you come here and you like... And, you know, obviously, she got a lot going on with that whole C Murder thing. So she bigging up her boo thing. And it's like, sis, we're not here for this. We here to hear the songs and... bop, reminisce, and all of that. Because when you think about it, all these songs that we're listening to on Verzuz are old school songs that came out how long ago.
Yeah.
So when you start playing, because I feel like there was artists that played new shit on as part of, I think Gucci did that. I think Gucci, because he said, he had his mixtape dropping, and I think he did play one of his Verzuz songs, was one of his mixtape songs that he was dropping that the following Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did do that in the Verzuz.
He probably did, but I don't think he used that as one of his songs though, because I feel like a lot of artists have done that. They didn't use it as one of their songs for the Verzuz.
I think Gucci did it. I'm gonna look again, because I think when he was talking and doing all the most, he was like, oh yeah, I got a mixtape dropping. And I think he played a song, but whatever. I'll double check.
I know he played mixtape stuff, but I don't know if it was off the new mixtape. That I don't recall, but because I know a lot of artists be doing that shit.
Yeah, they do. But it's if you got a mixtape, old mixtape, okay, whatever, blah. New mixtape, you play a song off your new mixtape. It's like, because they got creative control. They could do whatever they want, right? Yeah. So they got paid to just be there, entertain everybody. Put their 20 songs, they could choose whatever they want when you really think about it. But it's like,
the rules is hits though, like
yeah, but the rules is hits. But that's what I'm saying. The rules is hits, but they not
hits
paying
could be.
The hits are to them. They're being subjective. They're not being objective to the masses because my thing is
they kind of are though.
No, they're not. It's because they're being more subjective than they are being objective when it comes to hits that they playing. I mean, obviously they're fans. Because think about it, some people, I'm more of a Jeezy fan than I'm a Gucci fan. So, of course, for me, there's going to be Gucci songs that I'm not going to really know about. I don't listen to Gucci mixtapes because he's not the type of...
So how will we not know that those wasn't hits, though, if we don't listen to that artist like that?
Because you know why? So, for me, personally, when I think about the music industry and you say hits, I'm not thinking about hits that everybody was dancing in a club to and it was not popular.
You have rappers like Wiz Khalifa, Tyga, or Kelly Rowland to us, where it's like this stuff ain't hits, but they go to a different country and that's hits. So it's like
that's true because that was with Khalees too.
Yeah, like I'm not a real.
But this ain't no international verses, unfortunately.
It's not, but it's kind of the same thing when you think about it. Because like I'm not a Wiz Khalifa like fan where I know all his music or Tyga. I only know certain songs, but for me, I can't sit here and say like, oh well, this person doesn't have hits. When I'm not really a big fan to know if this person have hits. So the same thing with like Gucci and
But you would know if the person has hits if you don't listen to them because for me, like I'm saying, and there's a lot of people that think like this too. When you think about artists and if you having a conversation with a group of people and you say, yo, does this artist have hits? Like chart topping hits? And you say, for example, Mariah Carey. What's one of the things that, aside from her voice, people are always talking about? Mariah Carey has chart-topping hits.
Yes, but hits is not just about being on the billboard.
But I'm telling you, but in the music industry, it is. Yeah, because that's what makes these artists.
Yeah, true. That's true.
And a lot of people view it like that, too. I get where you're coming from, too.
But I think the verses, I don't think they're just viewing it just on, like, chart-topping hits. And I never got that when they first started
so then let these artists... So then let's eradicate... Okay, aside from, like, putting this artist versus this artist together where it's like, okay, this doesn't make sense. So then let's just take out the whole hits thing. And if this artist has an amazing body of work... Because everything also has to do with wording too, right? The words you use. So
are we taking those words like too literal though? Like if it's hits, it means. I think you taking it literal. Like you don't
have to be
one.
There's a lot of people that
everybody don't feel that way. The people that I've talked to don't feel that way.
Listen, you got your people that feel your way. I got my people that feel that way. There's people on social media that feel your way, my way. Everybody got an opinion. Some people they're like, all right, we're gonna go by hits. Because my thing is, if that's the case. We wouldn't be pairing up certain artists with other artists if they didn't have an amazing body of work. Because it doesn't make sense, right? Like you said, Swizz Beatz says there's certain things that the fans, because they're going off of what the fans, because this is a fan-based driven thing. Mm-hmm. So if the fans are saying, I want to see this artist versus that artist, but they're like, no, I don't think they got the 20 hits. And whatever for Swizz Beatz and Timb, they feel compromises hits. Because at the end of the day, right, we not in their world. Mm-hmm. So for them, who knows? There could be like a whole whatever behind the moving oil machine that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like we know a snippet of when artists talk about, they put out an amazing body of work that could have done very good on the charts, but they didn't have the proper backing. Look at Tiana when she was saying all the stuff that she does. Tiana, she would have had a whole bunch she would have been up there, right? But what do they always say? Oh, I didn't have the backing of my label, because the label is a huge part in an artist's career in making them get to, because what's the point of you making music unless you're an artist that you ain't doing it for the money. You also doing it for the money to make money, and in order for you to make that money to gain those accolades in that world, you have to be seen near the top or at the top, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's when they start, Grammy Award winning, 20, Michael Jackson, breaking records, the Beatles, Mariah Carey.
But these people also have popularity too, along with those charts.
Right.
And stuff.
Yes, but in terms, aside from the popularity, is also when we talk about the music, right? And how the music...
So go back into your thing with the Tiana Taylor, right? We're going to go back to that. Tiana Taylor has beautiful, amazing work. Like she is talented as fuck, right? Mm-hmm. But when we think about her songs, I personally, if we doing verses, she would be amazing in that, right? But when you think about the popularity along with the amazing work she does, not a lot of people probably, obviously to the urban community, we all know who she is. Because it's not just us as black people that's watching that. It's people from other races that's watching Verzuz too.
Yeah, who listen to hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, so because
that's the only artist that's on the Verzuz. It's not an international thing.
They had one, but that shit didn't really do. It was like these two DJs, like pop DJs or whatever. Oh. But I just feel like certain people, because for me, like I said earlier, like with Keisha Cole, I don't think she has 20 popular songs, hit songs to be on Verzuz at all. Like, I feel like a lot of the artists that's been on Verzuz, like, people could name 20 songs from them that either probably wasn't charting high on Billboard, but it was popular, whether it was in the strip club, the radio, like, you know what I mean? Like, every artist has had those type of songs. So, and I feel like there's certain artists that, yeah, they might have an amazing, and don't get me wrong, Keisha Cole may have good albums, amazing body of work, but she does not have 20 hits or popular songs that I'm sure a lot of people would know. Because even when they was doing that shit on the Shade Room, there was people in the comments that was like, they ain't know some of these songs.
Yeah, because
they only know the Love, Heaven Sent, like those.
The first album, the second album.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, and that's true. So, I mean, for me, like, the Verzuz whole thing, yeah, there's a lot of things I do take literal, because when you think about it, it's like a lot of these songs are what made these people's careers and catapulted them to where they are now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't just, yeah, you could play your mixtape songs, but your mixtape songs.
But some mixtapes have made people who
yes,
they are.
I already said that some mixtape songs have made people. That's true. But when you're thinking about the Verzuz all together and all these artists, it's not their body of work is not based off of a few mixtape songs. Because like I said, there's people that, you know, I like don't listen to mixtapes, and you already acknowledge, like, well, how you gonna know if this is, you know, a hit or not if you don't listen to this part of body of work for this person? And for me, my answer is because when I look at, I'm not saying for me personally, when I listen to whatever artist that I enjoy listening to, that, oh, this gotta be on the billboards. That's not how music is definitive for me. However,
I guess because the way you were saying it, that's how it was coming on. No, for it to be this way.
No, that's why I keep saying the music industry, the label, because when I'm looking at the Verzuz, and I'm just like when we look at these award shows, I'm looking at it objectively because I'm not in their world, right? So I can only go by why these people say it. That's why I keep saying, like, you know, Swizz Beatz says this and that when it comes to hit, you know, because these are, music is about hits. And when we talk about hits, people automatically think, a huge portion of people, they think about hits, they think about the charts. And this is how, listen, we're talking about...
I'm sure people do think like that.
Music industry-wise, hits are based off of the charts.
Absolutely.
So that's my main argument is, so when I see a Verzuz...
But do you think that over time, like, things kind of have changed?
Well, now
I feel like back in the day, I feel like that was like the main thing. Like, no,
I think that's still relevant because you have artists that still talk about that.
They still do.
Because
it's the same thing with like the Grammys. Like, a lot of people want to win a Grammy, but now when they see how the Grammy is and how they don't recognize them, it's like, whatever.
But that's the thing too. They knew how the Grammys, even like the Oscars so white. This person was what's the word I'm looking for? This person was not recognized for this body of work that they did. All these people, this is not new. Grammys, Jay-Z been boycotting the Grammys since I don't know if it was since Reasonable Doubt or after Reasonable Doubt.
I think it was, wasn't it one album he got nominated for like 7 and he didn't win? I think it was that album.
Yeah, whatever. I think that was
the most recent, not recent, but I don't think it was.
I think that was if I'm not well, matter of fact, why is my computer here and I'm over here? Like, yes, for Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg, he said it too. Like, a lot of these rappers and stuff, they don't fuck with the Grammys. And they been said they don't fuck with the Grammys. Kanye West, before Kanye West was Kanye West. Kanye West been saying this since way before, what? Was it Through the Wire or after Through the Wire? Kanye been saying that shit. And that was over 10 years ago. A lot of these artists been saying these things since 10 plus years ago about the Grammys. So this ain't nothing new about, oh, the Grammys not recognizing me as an artist. This shit is old news, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I do feel like a lot of people more recently are like boycotting the Grammys. Yes, this has been something that's been going on for the longest, but I feel like recently it's been something where it's like they're boycotting it. I mean, I don't know, because I feel like when I see artists talking, they always talking about like streaming, like they be more concerned about the streaming numbers than I hear them talking about being on the Billboard charts. But
yeah, because like you said, times in terms of...
I feel like times have changed compared to like when we grew up. Like, that was the thing, like being on the billboards. Then,
but the streaming makes your song a hit.
It does, too. But then it went from that to if your club is not a hit in a strip club, then it's not a hit. Remember that whole era? So it's like certain artists were like, I feel like
that was an era.
Yeah, that was an era. Like if your song was a hit in the strip club, a lot of people would play their songs in the strip club to see how well it do. If it was a hit, then because a lot of songs did blow up from the strip club. That's how they used to test it out. So artists used to want to know, I gotta play my shit in the strip club, see how that go. So that's why I'm like, over time, I feel like things kind of like change where like their focus be. I mean, obviously every artist wants to be certified.
But look at what you're saying though. That everything that you're saying still points back to it being a hit. And for it to be a hit.
Yeah, but if it was a hit in the strip club, it's not on the Billboard charts yet.
But that doesn't make it a hit.
But that's what I was saying, Annick, is that it doesn't have to always be on the Billboard for it to be a hit.
It does for the artist. It does.
But we can't speak for those artists.
But they say it, so that's why
But I'm sure there's probably some that probably feel both ways. I don't know. I can't speak for them.
I'm sure maybe they do, but my sole argument is for the artists that they want their songs to be. Yeah, so I'm not going off of people. Now, the artists who don't want their stuff to be on the billboards and they don't care about that, kudos to you. And because I know for me, if I'm a musical artist and I'm working towards recognition and acknowledgement and I want to make it, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't want my music to hit the charts, or I don't want to go platinum, or I don't want to go gold,
I'm sure
or diamond.
Don't think that, but I think that for some artists, after over time, there are probably some artists that feel like those things don't define how great of an artist they are.
Right. That's now because, like you said, times have changed.
Yeah.
In terms, but however, even if artists ain't looking at the Billboard charts for a hit, they're looking at streaming platforms for a hit. But where's those hits gonna go? It's still the streaming platforms
they still gonna go on the Billboard. I'm not saying that they not going to Billboard, but I'm saying there has been songs that have not chart. They probably wasn't even in the top 100, and they were hits because, like I said, that era, it was like, oh, I'm gonna play myself in the strip club. If it becomes a hit there, it's a hit everywhere. But sometimes those songs wasn't on the top 100. But they were like, that's what I'm saying, it was a popular song. Because sometimes the popular song, there's songs that I didn't even know, I can't think of them now, but I remember seeing them on the Billboard. I'm like, this song is only under, like, it's below, it didn't even hit 100 yet. And I'm like, how? This song is like playing everywhere. How does this song not make it this high on the chart? So that's why I'm like, that's why I made that argument of like, that song is popular and it's played everywhere, but it's not even rising high on the chart.
But if it's locally popular and not nationally popular, that's a whole different thing too. Because if you
technically say, because what is the definition of a hit? Let's take out the industry and all of that. What is the technique?
We can't take out the industry though.
But I'm saying if we want to go with the literal definition of what is a hit, without it being, because a hit doesn't necessarily, from how I'm looking at the definition, I'm looking at it more on a popularity type of situation, not based on the top 100, top 10 charts.
All right. So, hit song.
We were going to look at this on Wikipedia, and we always be talking shit about Wikipedia.
But a hit, but we know that there's certain things on Wikipedia is also true, that some of them are facts. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, this thing. A hit song, also known as a hit record, hit single, or simply a hit, is a recorded song or instrumental that becomes broadly popular or well known. Although hit song means any widely played or big selling song, the specific term hit record usually refers to a single that has appeared in an official music chart, though repeated radio airplay or significant commercial sales.
Yeah, it says although. So although that's how people describe it, a hit song is pretty much kind of what I was arguing of, that really popular.
Yeah, but although it's a hit song, specific term hit record usually refers to a single. So which that is the same thing, because a hit song is AKA a single. So, I mean, that is actually the same thing. Single is a song, is a record. So, yeah. Well, she said get off Wikipedia, y'all.
I mean, it kind of both answers both of our both of the points that we were saying.
Well, for me,
I know you're going by the definition.
Yeah, because I am going to go by the book, because when, like, there's certain things that, for me, like, I always say this, there's certain things where you can't kind of, like, what's the word I'm looking, like, you...
There's no gray area?
Yeah, there's, like, when you really, like, it's not gray area, but there's certain things that you can't manipulate. Like, you can't see, like, not saying you cannot, you can, but there are certain things that when you look at it, you do got to step out subjectively, and you got to look at the bigger picture and objectively look at it and say, all right, even though we're not in the music industry, but we also got to look at it from the lens of the music industry and look at it through how they make these artists become who they are. Aside from the artists who they are, right? They're always going to be who they are because this is a passion of theirs. Mm-hmm. But they need a well-driven machine behind them at times to catapult them to where they want to be, a successful musical artist. And when you look at how the music industry defines a successful musical artist, you can't be like you can't finesse that. You can't say, well, because this is what
that I'm not finessing though. That
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, in terms of certain things, yeah, you gotta look at it by the book. And that's like in medicine. I can't be a doctor and I'm doing something and I'm doing it how it's supposed to be done by the book. And I'm like, well, you know, I mean, I could do it this, or it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that it's like you can't manipulate or change the idea of how this industry has always said it. Now, granted, now because artists are taking ownership of a lot of their stuff, and a lot of the times too, these artists, they go on social media and they blast these labels, they blast the music industry. So this is not even like me and my opinion. This is from over the years of listening to these artists talk about, my record could have been a hit, my record could have been on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's why for me, when I look at Verzuz and when it first began, yeah, I am looking at it as a person who has a hit record, like a record. I'm not looking at
it if it's on the charts.
Yeah, also
that's what I'm saying, because I'm saying hits, but I'm not just solely basing it only on the charts. You're basing it solely on the charts.
We all can like records. We can all like a song and like the song and it's popular.
Yeah, I agree. That was the argument I said to Joel.
Right. It could be locally popular, strip club, in the club, radio, whatever.
But see, that was the difference between me and Joel, though. The fact that he was basing it off an artist that he liked. Whereas me, I'm a little bit more open. Like, I like Keisha Cole, but in the same breath, I don't think she should be doing no verses, especially against Ashanti. She can't, like, she's no way she could go against Ashanti.
And it's the caliber too, like
that too. That's also what I'm looking at.
Because like this is where the verses for me, it's like, which one is it? Like, which one is it? Is it, oh, we're gonna respect artists and we're gonna respect their bodies of work regardless whether they were on the charts or not. And even though Verzuz hasn't, they haven't said it out their mouth, like it's just hits, but it's because obviously that's disrespectful and rude to, you know, the artist, because it's like, all right, but at the same time, they're not putting artists, when you really look at it, they're not putting artists on Verzuz who have not had hits. So that's also another thing too, because if that was the case, they would be putting anybody, not anybody, but it would be more diverse of artistry going up against each other that didn't have the hits. So when you think about all these body of works that these artists have done that were hits on the charts, so they know what they're doing too. So it's kind of like you could read between the lines and you could see that they put in artists. Come on, Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle.
But they're like legends, and they have a lot of
hits.
But
aside from the legend,
but that's what you said. They have a lot of hits. That's
exactly. So they know. So when you look at that right there, it's not just, oh, we put in Gladys Knight against.
But you know what's crazy? That some of them songs that Gladys had played or Patti played, I didn't know. But obviously,
I'm right. Yeah, you know? Yeah.
like I was born after, so I only know like the certain
I'll
songs.
have to ask an old head, like,
but,
that's their age.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the new artists the artists in our era, there was certain, I forgot who artist it was, but I think it was like one or two of them had played a song, and I was like, what song is that? I never heard this song before. Like, you know, so...
Listen,
I don't know.
At the end of the day...
But I think they mostly listening to the fans, too, because I think they try to pair somebody up. I think it was Scott Storch and T-Pain, and the fans was like,
and look, Scott Storch, all he was playing was Scott Storch is not a musical artist, right? He's a producer and a songwriter. Yeah. All his songs are diverse. Hits. All his songs are hits. Every song he played, and he said it, chart-topping hits. All the songs he played. So
he has a big portfolio. So
I know,
of course he's gonna have a bunch of songs on the chart.
Right, but looking at it from an artist who knows they have hits and they're coming to Verzuz to play their hit songs.
Yeah, of course you're gonna play. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? So
but I agree with that. Yes, of course. If I'm Scott Storch with the fucking portfolio that he has, of course I'm gonna play all my songs that was on the Billboard chart. He could have played other shit that wasn't top chart.
But he didn't.
Yes, but he has a big portfolio where he could do that. You have some artists that don't have portfolio, don't have enough music that been charted high on the billboards.
And this is in respect to what you had said, like artists that go on Verzuz. It's not just for you. You say you're not looking at it at chart topping hits. You're looking at hits. Just you have your definition.
I'm looking at both.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
But that's why I'm bringing it back to. That's why I use Scott Storch as an example. Yeah, we know he has a great portfolio. However, there's artists, how many artists that we've seen or songwriters or producers have said that they've done songs and written stuff, you know, that they didn't get to put out or what, you know, that, or whatever the case may be, right? Because, and either they played it or they didn't play it versus what you said about artists who are playing songs that are not hits on the Billboard charts but are unknown to a lot of people
because they probably don't have enough. And that's the thing, that's why I keep bringing up the Keisha Cole. Some of those artists, Scott Storch, he's gonna automatically he probably have more than 20 songs that I don't know who's cleaning that shit. They probably have more, whatever. They have more, like Scott Storch, Timbaland, Swizz, they got more than 20 songs that's top charting. So of course they're gonna play that. But when you have certain artists who have only maybe 4 or 5 songs that was chart topping, what other songs can you pull from? You're gonna pull the songs that were popular.
Yeah, but my argument now is not about the chart chart. It's about if we just gonna play songs and not worry about just solely focusing on the Billboard charts, then you can play the songs that wasn't on the Billboard charts, right? But for him, he played the songs that. Yes, we know.
Any artist is going to do that has the caliber like he does.
Yes. However, he chose. That's what I'm saying. He chose to just play. He didn't choose to just play a diverse body of work of songs that he probably wrote for other people that weren't hits. You know, that weren't hits. He chose to play only hit songs. So that's why I'm like.
But you don't think these artists would want to choose only top charting? I'm sure they will only want to choose.
So then,
but if they don't have enough, they gonna go with the popular.
So then,
songs.
Get off Verzuz. You ain't got the 20.
But that's what the fans want to see.
But then that's the thing. If the fans want to see a lot of things, but then you got these big time people who's dictating as well what makes sense to. Yeah, but if this is all based on what the fans want to see, what the fans want to vibe with, then let the fans vibe. Because even when you look at the comments and then people be like, oh, nah, this song against this song, nah, that wasn't a hit. Like, you just read the comments. Like, you see, like, where people's head is at when it comes to Verzuz about if this song is a hit or if this song ain't a hit against that song or whatever the case may be. Yeah. You know? So, I feel like, you know, and yeah, the Verzuz, and even the name itself, Verzuz, speaks for itself. But at the end of the day, if my point of view is gonna change or whatever, or look at it in a different way, then just have this person's body of work, that person's body of work, 20 songs, and y'all go against each other. That's it. We're not gonna focus on if the song was a hit or not, or whatever. Here, you got 20 songs, because like I said earlier, every artist out here, if you at least put 1 album out or 2 albums out, you got 20 songs. So here, put this person against that person, and we ain't gonna focus on if this artist is more popular or got hits or whatever. We just gonna let the music go against each other and vibe. That's it. But obviously, Verzuz has an undertone where it's not
to that shit.
Where it's not really.
I need to see the popular songs.
Yeah, right, but that's the thing, right? It's not really because there. How many artists we've seen that they had so many popular hit songs? They didn't play those songs. They played songs that were not hits, right? Or whatever, and then they be like, oh, now, and then people be like, what song is this? I don't know, because like I said, some people don't listen to the entire body of work, or sometimes these songs, they don't make it the way another song makes it.
Well, sometimes people don't even know that those songs were hits.
True.
I told you, for example, there were songs that I thought were hits that was popular everywhere, and I look on the Billboard charts, and I'm like, why is this shit 100 and something? Like, what the fuck? Like, so, it's crazy. Now it's spilling the wine. But I don't know. I just feel like
been a lot of people. I honestly don't know who could have went against Ashanti.
A lot of people were saying, some people said J-Lo. But I'm like, Ashanti wrote some of J-Lo shit, so
there was other artists that wrote other songs for these people too. So
that's true.
At this point, it don't even matter.
Because J-Lo got 20 hits.
Yeah, she does.
She got 20 hits.
She got 20 hits based off of her first album and the second album. Yeah. But the other albums that she has, a lot of people to the masses, they're not gonna know those songs, right? Because she had a Spanish album that she came out with Mark Anthony, and for a lot of people, they don't listen to Spanish music, salsa.
True.
So, but like you said, Swizz Beatz and them, they always talking about, it gotta make sense, it gotta make sense. All right, it gotta make sense on a grander scale. So make it make sense.
I wonder if they put them together because that era, like Keisha Cole, like, they were, so I don't know if that's, and plus the fans want to see it, but I'm sorry, but Keisha Cole gonna get demolished. I'm sorry. For the Keisha Cole fans out there, I apologize, but.
Yeah, we spent an hour talking about this shit.
We did?
Yeah, I guess we ain't talking about nothing else.
Oh, God. But I mean, it was a cute little debate because we talking about the music industry, the meaning. I'm sure there's going to be people that probably have stuff to say, too, about it.
Yeah, because,
Because I'm sure there's other people that's thinking like how you think and how I think towards the verses. So, I don't know. I would love to see them branch out to do like other verses where it's just not artists. Like, I want to see them do more songwriters, producers. The poetry one, that was a good idea. I was like, oh shit, there's like poets and shit. Like Joe Budden was like bringing up different things, but I would like to, because it's so big now, like I would love to see them like branch out and stuff. Because I'm like, it started off with just producers and songwriters, even though it wasn't that many verses of them, because then it just went into just straight artists. It would be good to see a different, because I feel like there's some songwriters that need their flowers while they're here, and producers, because we're so solely just based on the artists because they are the image, but there's a fucking machine behind them that's running everything. So,
but we talked about that because we were like trying to figure out how many songwriters, because we mentioned Candy. We were like, then as a songwriter, what 20 songs she has, who she would go up against. Like me, I was like, I told her the other day, I said Missy and Pharrell, right? Because I kept thinking, I'm like, yo, who can Missy go against? Because Timbaland already went. Because they were the first ones. Tim and that's how it started. They were going back and forth with each other in the fucking car.
I remember that when you came out here.
Yeah, I was watching that shit. See, I've been watching that shit since day one. That's why I'm like, yo, the way that shit started off, it was like, yo, they was playing hits against each other. It wasn't like, oh.
But then you say there was some songs that Swizz Beatz played that you was like, what is this?
Was it Swizz or was it Timbaland?
I think it was Swizz that you were like, you could tell he got that New York sound. Because you said you was jamming to Timb, but I felt like it was Swizz that you said was playing shit that you was like, what?
I think I probably, that sounds accurate.
Because I remember
that was like back
that.
In freaking March or April.
Yeah, the beginning of quarantine.
Yeah, so, and then that shit got disconnected and it was just like, okay. Excuse me. But
that would be a good matchup.
Yeah, because, I mean, Missy and Tim wouldn't go against each other because obviously they partners in the game. So they came up together.
They've done a lot of shit together. Like
right,
songs. But
Missy got mad fucking shit out there that, to me, but Pharrell got mad shit too. So, that's just me. I just look at it as, I look at it the way they would look at it, like an artist or the music industry, like a hit song, a hit record, a hit album, because that's the purpose of hit. That's what that means. Hit means successful. Like, there's no other. That's what the definition is. Simple as that.
Well,
hit.
Really popular, as a definition would say.
Right, popular song, but it's popular song based off of the charts.
According to the music industry.
Right.
Although,
according to the music industry. I'm not
industry.
going by the local strip club and what's popular to
I'm
them.
by definition.
No, I'm saying, I'm going back a little bit. I'm like, yeah, the strip club era, because...
But when you think about it, that is kind of going by the definition. If we taking away the... Because it said that was the definition. It said, but then although a hit in the music industry means this, when we think about it, popularity, a lot of those songs.
Yeah, but it's saying popularity according to... It's not saying popularity according to what you were saying earlier. It's saying popularity according to being on an official Billboard chart.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the first set of the definition.
Yeah, but the first set of the definition was the same as the other one. Because it's saying a hit song, then it's saying hit record, and it's saying single. Like, all that stuff means the same thing. It does. When they say, I put my single out, I put my... record, we know record, album, that's intertwined. Hit single, hit song, that's the same thing, because the single is the song, but it just comes out as a single because it's one. Single means one. So
the first part of that definition
is the same thing that was repeated in the second part.
All right.
I mean, y'all heard me read it, so y'all could say whatever, because it said it right there. But I mean, I can't interpret it anyway else. But listen, we gonna see y'all. That's gonna be what, next Saturday? Well, this Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah, Sunday. Well, by the time we record Sunday, by the time we talk about that, it shit gonna be old. So
it'll still be fresh because we're. Oh yeah, because by the time we post
Thursday. So yeah, that's gonna be old news.
I mean, we like sum up the whole like week and stuff. I mean, what else happened?
I don't know. I feel like on my end, yeah, the only thing I saw was the Larsa stuff, honestly. I wasn't really on. I mean, happy birthday to JT. It was her birthday.
Oh, I knew Jay-Z's birthday too. You were in London. It was.
Well, you know what's crazy though? Yeah, I just saw he turned 5. I was like, oh, so cute. It's crazy because since Monday I started listening to Jay. I don't know why. I didn't even remember that his birthday was coming up. I really did not. I knew it was in December, but I just didn't remember the day. And since Monday, I was like, I'm in a Jay-Z mood. Because I don't, like, since I got my new phone, the phone before that other phone, a lot of my music had deleted. Mm-hmm. So I had to try to get everything back. And I need an iPod. I have too much music. Because I was listening to all the Jay-Z albums. And I'm like, yo, why do I not have these songs on my iTunes? And I've just been listening to Jay-Z, and then next I'm like, oh shit, his birthday is today. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? That's the so crazy. Yeah, that I was just in a Jay-Z mood. But
Jigga.
I know he feel like and he has every right to, because he's a legend when you think about it. So I know he probably like, this is beneath me. But I would love for him to do a Verzuz, because when I was listening to those albums, I'm like, oh my god, all these songs.
I think he would do it because he has a great relationship. I had seen Swizz Beatz post a birthday message to him, and I didn't know that him and Jay-Z knew each other since they were 17 years old. So I just love like when artists give background of their relationship with certain other artists, because I think it's cute, because you think like, oh, they just met each other when everything hit off and whatever the case.
Because Swizz was on some of them old albums that I didn't even know he was on there.
Yeah, but they've known each other since they were 17, so that's like way before them entering the music industry. So I thought that was pretty dope that they've known each other since teenagers. So that was pretty cool.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was like not recent, but when I listened to, I forgot which album it was, I'm like, damn, Swizz produced this? I'm like, I didn't even realize.
Before he was the Pharrell to Jay-Z before Pharrell. He was on mad of Jay-Z's stuff, producing his stuff.
But I didn't realize it. So when I saw the old picture, I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But, just off the strength of their friendship. But then again, Jay-Z got a lot of things that he's dealing with. So in terms of the community and things he's working on. So who knows if he has time to set aside to do something like this. But that would be dope. Like I said,
that would break the fucking
it would have
internet.
to be, it would. It would have to be Jay-Z against Nas because there's nobody else. Like, come on. There's nobody else in my eyes that would go against Jay-Z. Because it just, if we want Swizz Beatz, if that makes sense. And plus, hello, Jay-Z Nas. Like,
I mean, they kind
Brooklyn,
of
Queens.
Yeah. And when they came out, it was kind of the same time. So
like,
that makes
right
sense.
There, fire.
They would have to do more than 20 songs.
Yeah, but we know how these motherfuckers be. 20, that's it. We gotta go.
Who was the other artist? When we was watching, I was like, nah, they have to give them more than 20. What was the lineup? I forgot which lineup
girl,
it was.
I'm not gonna remember right now.
It wasn't,
We would have to go on the Verzuz page and look at all the prior verses.
Oh my God, what artist was it? And I was like, no, this person needs more than fucking 20. I can't think of it right now. I'll have to go back and look. Because I remember seeing it. Because I just feel like, personally, some of those legendary artists, you can't limit them to 20. Like, I think it was it Babyface and Teddy Riley that
maybe
said
it
that?
could have been them.
I think so. Because I'm like, Babyface got mad songs. Like, he needs to do more than 20. I feel like people like that caliber, like legends like that, you can't do 20.
Yeah.
You can't.
Especially if they play the songs, like, some songs they play fast, some songs they take their time. Like, it is just weird. So it's like, before you know it, even with the Gucci and Jeezy thing, I was like, all right, I'm going to go take a shower. And then I go in the shower and then
shit was over.
I'm like, that's it. With that 20? Just like that? Like, 20 songs?
I didn't realize it was 20.
So some of them, they be happening real quick. The 20 songs, they just be boop, 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 20 songs, and then they be done.
I mean, there was a time where they would play the song for too long, and they just be like, all right, next song.
That was in the very beginning, yeah.
Because Sean Garrett he was OD in that Verzuz.
Look what we took for granted. We took that for granted.
We did. Now we be complaining like, that's it. Especially when they play the songs that had certain verses that was popular. It's like, no, play that verse. Do not play the beginning because, you know, everybody's gearing up to hear that certain part of the song. So that should be getting me tight.
Yes, girl.
Y'all artists, y'all need to get it together, child. Get it together.
Well, yeah. So I don't got nothing else to say because then this would probably be like 3 hours long. So
yeah, there was nothing really important that really happened that I can remember.
Well, I saw prior to this, prior to us starting to record, Giuliani got COVID.
Yeah, Kimmy, my cousin, she her sister had called her and told her, and she had mentioned it. Why everybody in Donald Trump's circle just catching COVID?
I thought it didn't exist.
Child, I mean, all right. Since we on that topic, I'm not gonna make this a long thing. I know you saw it going around social media that Bush, Clinton, and Obama was gonna take the COVID test, and I mean not COVID test, the vaccine. So this is how I feel about it, right? I think you going on national TV and, you know, doing this to make the American people feel safe, I just don't see this as a good look. And this is why I say this, right? Because didn't President Obama do that same stunt with Flint? He drank the water, but yet they still have bad water, right? Or you have, for example, with Trump, I caught COVID and I beat it. Don't let it frighten you. And it's like, don't do that, because now you're putting out a mixed message, because now you're gonna have all these people go get these vaccines, and God forbid, because I'm sure they're not giving y'all the bad shit because they want to make it look like, yes, it's safe, take it, but we all know the American the government and how they are with vaccines and medicine and all this other stuff. I'm not going to get a vaccine after I see President Obama and them get a vaccine. Yeah, that's nice, but I think that's where it kind of bothered me, because it's like you're giving this message to the people, and it's like you don't know what the people are getting. Right. We don't know what vaccines we're gonna be getting. For God's sake, you fucking drink water and pretending like everything was fine, and them niggas still ain't got no clean water.
Well, didn't something come out about that they did not give him the water?
No, they
didn't. They actually gave him clean water and shit like that.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, why are we doing that? Why do 3 former presidents need to go on TV and have people see them getting a fucking vaccine?
Honestly, they could take 8 million vaccines. I don't care, because that's not going to make me change my mind about not taking a vaccine. Like, I already have my stance on vaccinations,
Same.
my personal beliefs, so that's not going to deter me from moving away from that. But since we on this subject, I'll make this quick. So I saw a post about how to properly decline.
Oh yeah.
So
Shaka Ben posted that a while ago.
So a lot of the things that were said in that were not true. That post is a false post, and because there was things. Okay, when I first saw it, because I had seen it a while ago. And when I first saw the first slide, it said, oh, you can't decline a vaccine because then you're going to be seen as belligerent. That's not true. So I was just like, belligerent? I was like, who made this post? And then when I kept looking at like the other slides, and I was just like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. So it's one of those posts where you got to fact check. Now, the thing with the fetal cells and stuff, that was also a reach. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is not, a lot of the stuff in this post is not true. Yeah. I'm just going to face the audience. And, like, that's why it's, like, really important to look stuff up before, like, you post it. Because, it could be, because I saw this medical professional and they reposted it and they crossed out. And it was like, I've seen people reposting this and this is not accurate. And then they were like putting, and they even used a different medical terminology in one of the things. And she crossed it out. She was like, first of all, this word means this, which is not anything related to a vaccination. This is the actual word that they mean. So even that right there, it was just like, and people who are not in the medical field, they're not going to know that. Yeah. So, that's why I was just like, ooh. But when I saw it and I was looking at it, I was like, but there's never been an issue in declining a vaccine. If you have ever went to the doctor and they ask you, like, just think about it off personal experience, and they ask you, do you want this vaccine? And you say no, that's it. The doctor's like, okay, no problem. They chart it. Yeah. It's not, oh, you're going to be seen this way and that's not true. So
unless you're like a kid, like, you have to get vaccinations, obviously.
Yeah, but
you're not allowed in school.
Right, that's a different thing. But as an adult, like, a lot of that stuff was just like, ooh, child, this is not accurate. So I was just like, so when I seen that lady's post and her just like, talking about it, and I was just like, damn. And she was just like, she was like, she doesn't know who created that post, but it's messed up because it displays like people who are in medicine. It makes it seem like doctors and the medical system is out to get you and out to, because we all know, like, it's the pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical company, these are scientists. Yeah. These are not medical professionals who went to medical school. Like, scientists, depending on what type of scientist you become, like, you have your own track, right?
But you have some doctors that be...
Yeah, but those doctors, they have a specific name. Those are doctors that don't work in hospitals. They're doctors that, they work in labs doing, basically, they're a form of a scientist.
No, but I mean, like, the docters that when you go to those doctors, some of them don't really care about your health. And yeah, definitely. Like, oh, yeah, take this, take that. Like, so I'm talking about a small few, but you do have, like you said, doctors that do really care. Like,
yeah, and yeah, that's true. And there's doctors who will shove it down because doctors, they also, aside from their medical professionalism, sometimes their personal, even though you're not supposed to, your personal beliefs kind of bleed into your profession. So, and I think that's because of the stigma that has long gone around about, medicine and, the shit that they do, and you gotta be careful because, yeah, for the most part it is true, whatever. But I felt like, that post, it was just like targeting, because not everybody in the medical profession is like that. Yeah. Like, they're not specifically going to target you. Like, if you go to a doctor, there are doctors who will tell you like, okay, just like when we watch these pharmaceutical companies and their ads about these, even though they saying that shit mad fucking fast, but side effects might be but where they, and even when you get a prescription, the doctors tell you, because they have to by law, they have to by, you know, medical, their ethics.
Yeah, of course.
They tell you like, this is gonna be, and
because they gotta say they ass.
Well,
because if they get sued or something.
Yeah, that too. And just to let you know, as you, like, this is what might happen to you. Like, your health may decline or whatever.
But those commercials, not to cut you off, those commercials are fucked up though, because when they're saying those side effects, these people are fucking dancing and smiling. Yeah. So you're so distracted of the person living a good life that it's like, oh well, if I take this, these are the side effects, but they're able to live their life, and so I think that is fucked up.
It is fucked up. It is. They know what they're doing. Absolutely. I mean, we live in a day and world where, you know, now a lot of people are more knowledgeable, and you know, they look at things from a different perspective, and not how it was back then. But you know, even for vaccines, it's the same thing. When you get a vaccine, they tell you there might be side effects for this or that. So it's not like there's no wool being pulled over a person's eye if you go get a vaccination and you decline it, and the doctor goes in their office and they're secretly calling the FBI to report you. I feel like that's a lot of like the imagery that is kind of like played out to make it seem like they putting you on some list of this, like whatever. If that is even happening or whatever, well, I guess they done did that shit to me a long time ago. Whatever. Yeah.
But even my experiences of being a doctor, I was never forced to take certain things. Yeah, they might try to like shove it down my throat, but I always had a choice at the end of the day. Like, and maybe for some people it can be overwhelming, and they just be like, okay, yes, like, you know, because it can be overwhelming. Some doctors, I've had a doctor that was like that. But at the end of the day, it's still your choice that you make, you know?
And you're not going to... It just makes it seem like you're going to be penalized by your doctor or wherever you go to get a vaccine. And that's not it. Like, you're not going to get penalized for refusing a vaccine. Like,
that I've never heard of. I mean, I haven't taken a vaccine since I left high school, because obviously I had to do it for school. Yeah. But I was never forced to take a vaccine.
Nobody's laying you down on a table and forcing a needle in your arm.
You know what I mean? Doctors told me, oh, take the flu shot. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And it's like, all right, and they move on to the next subject.
They're not focused on that. So, you know, just, even though this whole COVID vaccine thing is just everywhere and it's just like at a mile a minute, just step back, take some time, breathe in, breathe out, and you good. You just politely decline it, and that's it. You go about your fucking business.
But vaccines are not something that's supposed to be forced, though. I just knew it as only something you do, obviously, for
vaccines
school.
Were never forced, so that's why I'm like this whole. But I feel like with the rise of like that, I'm gonna call it COVID-19 hysteria. That's what I'm gonna call it. Good thing, the COVID-19 hysteria has caused certain people to just not think logically. Like, it's a vaccine. Like any other vaccine. Okay, not like any, but it's in the realm of a vaccination. So just like you said no to the flu shot, you can say no to COVID-19. Yeah. That's it. It's like so
any
simple.
Other vaccine.
Yes.
It's like, no.
It's so freaking simple, but because of the mass hysteria with COVID, it's like people are pushing an agenda, making it seem like, oh, if you don't take COVID-19 vaccine, like, you know, you seen the funny post, like, oh, when you see a niggas in jail after refusing, because that shit is funny. But why do they have that? It's because of this hysteria behind COVID-19. So it's like...
Wait, was that even said, like, in the news that if you don't take this COVID vaccine that you get... Because I was trying to figure out where that joke stemmed from. Like, was it said, like, oh, you'll be penalized if you don't take the vaccine?
There's been so much... Because there's been misinformation out there, like, oh, if you don't take the COVID-19, you can't travel this place or whatever, or it's been so much misinformation being spread about the COVID-19 vaccine that, you know, a lot of the times there's not a lot of fact checking going on. Folks is just like, bloop, let me just throw this. It's like, no, go look it the fuck up and see what's actually, because the vaccine, whether it's been sitting in the lab for the past 20 years, and this has been a whole fucking government doing. Who knows? I've even seen people talk about, oh yeah, like COVID-19 vaccine. Y'all was quick to have that, but ain't no vaccine for HIV and AIDS. And I'm just like, first of all, everybody knows that they have the cure to HIV and AIDS.
They do. They just got the PrEP pill,
right? So, which that shit don't even make sense when you. But that's what I'm saying. When you step back from the hysteria and you sit back and you logically think, and you just like, wait a minute. What the fuck is all this craziness for? All I gotta do is say no. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lose my job. I'm not gonna be ostracized from my family. Like,
yeah.
Like, there's not gonna be something. I'm not gonna be thrown in fucking prison for refusing a COVID-19 vaccine.
It's something you can't do.
Right. There's laws that protect you. There's HIPAA. There's so many things that protect us. Yeah, the government, we all know the government is fucked up and they do shady, shicey shit. But always remember that. And just remember that when you see something on the internet or you read something, it's like, you just gotta be like, something don't seem right about this. And go look it up or just pass along and go about your fucking day. That's it.
But like you said, people are not stepping back and really like comprehending everything that's going on.
Yeah, because I'm not getting trapped in all this. Yeah, we know COVID-19 is serious and it has affected so many people and so many families, and it's sad, you know, it really is. And aside from that, I also know what I can do to effectively make sure I keep myself, my friends, my family, you know, take the necessary precautions that are super simple. Wear my fucking masks, wash my hands, sanitize the shit that I've been doing before this whole fucking pandemic, and just to keep on doing it because nothing has changed in that aspect. I come inside the house, I always wash my hands because that's how I was raised. I don't sit on the bed with my dirty clothes.
Yeah, I've never
or other
done
people
that.
like, you know, granted, different households raise people differently, but for the most part, for my friends and for our families, we all share the same commonalities of manners, basic, simple manners, especially when it comes to germs. Yeah. So, in terms of people going crazy, Lysol, Clorox,
toilet paper, all that
toilet
stuff.
paper. Like, if the world was really ending and y'all motherfuckers ran out to go buy toilet paper, like, seriously?
I just did not understand that in the beginning of the pandemic. But Lysol wipes and Lysol spray was stuff that people, well, I know was normally in my house. Like, we had it. So, I'm just like, y'all going crazy buying the shit in bulk.
Yeah,
like,
shouldn't you have this already? Like, you should have this already. You should have some form of disinfectant.
Ammonia, you don't even need the fucking Lysol. You
Word, exactly.
Because we mostly had ammonia in the house.
Yes.
And my mother would buy
ammonia
the wipes
and
here
Clorox.
and there. Mm-hmm.
Those two. So.
And she would wipe down stuff with the ammonia.
You could have made your own fucking wipes. You could have got some fucking. What was I doing when
you
there was
the Clorox wipes and you poured the ammonia?
Yeah, I used the Clorox wipes, or I would use when Star was learning how to drive in the beginning. I would take before, you know, because wipes was also non-existent.
Yeah.
And we already had sanitizer and stuff like that. And we have a whole slew of disinfectant. And we have ammonia because I'm always buying ammonia. So I would take the fucking paper towel and I would pour ammonia on that shit. And I'm like, all right, we got our wipes. And I put it in a Ziploc bag.
I was like, wait, sis, we need gloves. Like,
yeah, she was wiping. She was like, is this ammonia? I'm like, yeah.
She was trying to take my hands off y'all.
Yeah, I didn't dilute it. Oh well, why would I dilute
really
it?
Did.
I was making fucking ammonia over Lysol. Oh, come on.
Ammonia
wins any day. So if COVID-19 was flourishing on a surface, that ammonia done killed that shit.
It sure did.
So, you know, but anyway, I ain't gonna go on a tangent. That's all I had to say about that.
That shit is crazy to me. I just hope that when y'all see them get that fucking vaccine, that y'all don't be. I just don't think this is a good idea, me. And you know, people may disagree with me, but just seeing from the past and seeing how, like, I don't know.
Listen, for the folks that want to go and take that vaccine,
go ahead and do it. Yeah.
I'm not judging you. I don't care.
I'm not judging you.
That's
I just don't like the message that they're doing behind it.
Now, for the people that's easily manipulated, and you're gonna just run off and get the vaccine because you see the former presidents on TV getting vaccinated, you're done.
Yeah,
and
do
you
your
can't
research.
Right, and you can't think for yourself. So we're gonna leave that there. And then for the people who opt out not to take the vaccine because you already have had your own personal beliefs of not getting vaccinated normally, you go about your day. And if somebody asks you, are you getting the vaccine or not, you gauge that person, and you gauge to see if this is a person that you could answer truthfully to, or even give an answer to. Because some people, they take vaccines seriously and believe wholeheartedly in getting vaccinated, and there's other people that don't. So at the end of the day, whatever.
Be like, no.
Yeah.
So what's up? You want square up?
Right. Right. Whatever spectrum you fall on when it comes to vaccines, that's you. And if somebody judges you or tries to belittle you for getting a vaccine, you put them in their place and you say, you honor and respect my decision the way I honor and respect your decision if you decide to not get vaccinated, and that's it.
But so you have some people that they won't say it so direct, but I've had it happen to me where people will kind of try to push their views on me, and it's funny because then at the end of it I'm like, but I'm still not going to get vaccinated,
right? Because
they'll mention stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm very open about it. I have not taken vaccines since I graduated high school. Never been into vaccines because I took the research myself and looked up stuff, and I was like, no. So I